Hello and welcome to another edition of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem, a show where we answer your most pressing questions about the most recent episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved, which was the Hammersmith Ghost. All the questions we're answering today came from you guys via our BuzzFeed Unsolved Instagram page, our BuzzFeed Unsolved Facebook page, as well as directly on the video on Bun.
What a cracker of an episode, a real firecracker.
It was a fun one.
That's what I say about the good episodes, they're firecrackers.
I enjoyed this one quite a bit. My favorite tale from the season, I would say.
Fun to talk about ghosts in a true crime season.
It's always fun to talk about ghosts.
We've talked about the yin and the yang of true crime and supernatural. We like to have a little supernatural to mix it up. We can't do it this year because of,
Because of
the
COVID.
world.
Equilibrium's all thrown off right now.
Still get a lot of people tweeting me saying, when are you guys going ghost hunting?
I do not believe, as of this morning, I haven't checked ca.gov, but I don't think ghost hunting has been declared an essential service.
Unless you want us to join the ghouls. I don't think we should be heading out.
Yeah, this may
soon.
come as a shock to most of you. It's not an essential service yet, despite numerous emails.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh yeah, that's right. Turkey Day tomorrow.
Turkey Day tomorrow.
Good on all you.
Stay home.
Zoom is offering unlimited calling on Thanksgiving Day.
Let's answer some questions. This is from Tony Andanuts. Hashtag postmortem with the account of the pregnant woman who passed away after the incident. Did she tell someone of her experience? She was presumably the only person there, and it seemed like a lot of the time she was unconscious. So how did others know of the Spectre attack? I'm loving this season, by the way. Yeah, what's her deal?
She passed out in the graveyard and then was taken back to her home. And then at home, I'm assuming that she woke up briefly before once again passing out and then unfortunately dying. I do believe she relayed her story before she went to the other realm.
Is it possible if she passed out, they find her and they're like, well, that ghost is going around. It must have been that and scared her.
No, because she was patient zero. Maybe if not patient zero, she was like one of the first big ones.
Yeah.
That would even cause a frenzy because people were like, oh, she got killed by the ghost. So she said she saw a white shroud.
Yeah.
And then got the bear hug of death.
Next question.
Let's go to Instagram _Brian Style for postmortem. If you were a ghost, what place or person will you be haunting? If it's a person, 100% him, just to rub it in his face every day. I would remind him that I was right, to the point where he'll wish he was dead.
You know who I'd like to haunt? Zed.
The DJ Zed?
Yeah.
Why?
I seen a YouTube video of his house.
Oh, it's big.
It's sick, dude.
On Architectural Digest, that guy has a Skittles machine in his house.
He's got a Skittles machine.
In his house.
He's got like a big hand, I
He
think.
could taste the rainbow every day. You know what? I'll just hop on the Shane train. I'm gonna go with Zed.
We're both haunting you, Zed.
I'm gonna haunt Zed's place.
We're gonna haunt you, we're gonna haunt your home. We just want Popeye to get some Skittles. Next question from Zach Hardy. Hashtag postmortem. What if this was Haunting of Hill House style and the bricklayer had been the ghost all along, as he was meant to die in the fashion he did? The ghost would have stopped appearing once he was no longer amongst the living, because the point of the ghost drumming up all this nonsense had finally fulfilled the point it was intended on reaching.
Oh shit.
Hashtag bent neck bricklayer.
He's talking about the bent neck lady.
Yeah.
I don't know how much sense that made in the show. I liked it. I liked the twist. We're talking about Hill House now.
Talk about Hill House season 1 spoilers.
Mike Flanagan.
Flanagan? Look, we loved meeting you. They
know.
did the screening in like a little theater in town because it was for Dr. Sleep, which I still love that film.
I still love that film, yeah.
They had buses back to the hotel. We left the theater and we were the first ones back on the bus. And Mike Flanagan was sitting alone on the bus. And he just like looked up at us and he was like, hi guys.
And then we just sat down next to him.
Yeah, we just sat down and started talking about the movie. It's a spooky story, the Hill House. I don't know how much logic we can apply to the real world. It's a fun thing to think about. I don't buy it because I don't believe in ghosts.
I will say it doesn't follow any of the believed principles of a ghost, which would be either a residual haunting, because in that sense, the residual haunting happened because of some event. If Millwood was a residual haunting all along, it still doesn't line up with his wife and all that stuff. No, I don't think it makes much sense.
It's like a pre-residual haunting.
Let's move on to YouTube. Let's go to McKenna Leesky for the postmortem. What if that Francis guy was one of the ghosts too? He could have joined the search effort to avoid suspicion and ended up going so far that he killed someone. That might explain why he felt so remorseful in the trial, because not only did he kill someone, but his shenanigans led to someone's death. Love y'all. Hashtag Shaniac. A lot of ghost talk for a Shaniac.
Well, they put ghosts in quote, which I think they're suggesting that
yes.
he was one of the people who dressed up like a ghost.
It's possible that to avoid suspicion, he does the classic move of saying like, I'm gonna find the killer.
But if he's trying to throw suspicion from himself, he could have just stopped and no one would have found him. And secondly, why did he kill a man? Unless there were multiple and he was like, okay, clearly other people are doing this because I'm not doing it.
Yeah, then why
They're not all me.
Why shoot another ghost?
Why shoot another ghost if you know?
If you're one of your pals, like
Yeah.
you're one of your ghost pals. Unless he legitimately thought it was another ghost, like, oh shit, I thought I was just playing Ghost. There actually are ghosts out here. I don't think so.
I wouldn't think that. Yeah.
I don't think so.
I'm guessing, and honestly, he's probably remorseful because of, you know,
The murder.
the murder.
That's what I would be remorseful about.
Yeah. An interesting theory that we have shit all over. Sorry,
Seems like it didn't happen.
but fun to talk about. You know, we got to the bottom of it and
I think
the
we
journey
did.
was fun.
It was good.
Instagram, Liam McKay 2006, hashtag postmortem, hashtag Bugara. Do you think the ghost could have been a case of mass hysteria and then people saw it and then there were some copycats?
Yeah, I mean, this could have been a case of mass hysteria, seeing how, you know, that could do things like make you dance until you die.
I mean, we talked about the clowns,
Yeah, and not ICP, just clowns.
2016 or so, maybe a little before then,
Yeah.
somewhere around there. Clowns showed up in a graveyard somewhere and then suddenly they were all over the country.
Tough break for juggalos when that was going on.
I think juggalos have had a tough break in general.
Well, they
right?
took an even like a worse rap because of that.
Yeah, but juggalos are different though, right? The clowns people were seeing were more like Pennywise, like, you know,
Yeah, that's true,
circusy.
that's true.
Juggalos have sort of the black and white makeup.
Yeah, you're right. I apologize to the juggalo community.
Shout out to all the juggalos.
Shout out to the juggalos. Invite us over to your
Please, what,
Big
the
fans.
Juggalo Jamboree, what do they call
the
it?
fucking
Jugfest?
Jug. I don't think they
That's
call
not
it.
what they
That's
call
not what
it.
they don't call it. Jugfest.
Also, when you think of like the lack of things to do back then, you're focused heavily on surviving because medicine isn't great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work to do in your daily life. You're looking for an outlet to blow off a little steam, have a little fun. Hijinks.
And also, when it comes to copycatting, it's not like the Hammersmith Ghost was like Freddy Krueger, which had
Right.
like insane detail and special effects makeup required. Just put a sheet over
Put
yourself.
a sheet.
Yeah, all right, let's move to the last question here.
Huh?
YouTube comes from Cookery Mornings. Sounds good. Tell us more about the ghost Ryan saw. I'll tell you more about it, and then I can say you might want to watch the Sorrel Weed episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural. That's where I saw the ghost. It's in the episode. Unfortunately, Shane blocked my camera, so you only see a couple frames of it. Get it together over there.
Tell us about your ghost.
We were in a basement in Savannah, Georgia, in the Sorrel Weed House. It was a place where apparently a cannonball had come through there because it used to be a stronghold, a British stronghold in the siege of Savannah.
Before it blew through the house, do you think someone said, "Cannonball"?
I don't think anyone said that.
That'd be funny.
Cannonball destroyed the building, killed the bunker, killed like 11 British soldiers inside. We were trying to make contact with British soldiers down there, so I started saying stuff like, hey, how does it feel to be 0-1? Because they lost to us in the war. Being an asshole. And then after about 15 minutes of that kind of ribbing, I saw what looked like just a dude. I thought it was maybe one of the people that would help us lock up the building, except he walked in either an outside part of a window where there's a fence that he would have to jump over like Miles Morales, or he walked directly into a brick wall and disappeared. So I don't know who that was and well, obviously it wasn't a human. I just thought when I saw a ghost, there would be some kind of like spooky aura around them, or like a white shroud, or like hanging chains, you know, like the ghost of Christmas past. None of that. It was just a dude. It looked like a dude, to the point where I actually didn't process it was a ghost until about 2 seconds later, then ran after it and it was gone.
Yeah. I didn't see it.
Well, your back was turned.
My back was turned to it. I was blocking the camera view, which was very funny.
He was so delighted by that too.
I will say that basement had like a lot of weird light shining into it from different angles.
It was not
and I
a
could
light
see
thing.
how
It was a dude.
stuff could play tricks on you down there.
It was
but
definitely not.
at the same
it was a
time,
dude.
I'll let you believe what you
And we
want to
caught
believe.
a couple
over
frames
there.
of it on the camera. I remember.
We debunked that.
I remember.
TJ and I did.
How'd
It was the rails like moving.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I also think it's so hilarious that I remember when it happened, I was like, wow, the show's over because my camera will catch what I saw. And Shane just standing right in front of it. God damn it. Unbelievable.
It's pretty funny. We got some fan art to close us out. Here's one from Gabe. That's us in our old stomping grounds.
That's the old office.
The old office.
Right next to Butternuts.
We got,
On the map there.
Oh, yeah.
There's a town called Butternuts.
yeah, one thing we like to do is every time we sit down at the desk, I try and find Butternuts on the map.
It's always hard. There it is. It's right
Why is
there.
it always hard? Oh,
Oh, we can't
whoa!
Oh, Lily. Oh, girl. You're gonna have to find Butternuts for the both of us.
Why is this always so hard to
It's
find?
so hard to find, right? I think it's in the lower left, if my recollection's correct. Oh, you got 5 seconds to find Butternuts, or I'm
Where
jumping
the
in.
fuck is Butternuts? I can't find it.
Let me try. Swap out.
I found it.
Oh, where is it? Point it out.
Right there. Like you said.
Lower left.
Lower left.
Lower
Butternuts. I also drew a little ghost on here somewhere. I don't know where he is.
Good stuff, Gabe. next one we have here from @a.splash_of.color, or a splash of color, which is a fun name for an artist. This looks like us with a ghost in the background. Shane has his handy little pen. Got some blood splatter, nice gradient in the background. Pretty good. I like the style of this one.
Oh, that is fun. You're dropping your papers, you're so scared.
I know, look at that.
Thank you, A Splash of Color. And finally, we have one from Radiant Roach.
Here we got the spirit box in the Supernatural episode. We got maybe some goat man eyes in the background.
Oh, I didn't even see those.
And then we have us in the
office.
in the office. And that looks like the I didn't connect shit, I did connect
Yeah, it does.
meme. As well as looks like they got you in your very fun flower shirt,
Yeah.
which I believe was the shirt you were wearing
Have
the
I
night
actually
of
worn
the
that?
Great London Blackout.
Was it?
I think so.
Have I worn that on an actual investigation though?
I think you have.
Huh.
I feel like you have.
I don't remember.
And it looks like I'm wearing my denim jacket. But fun times.
Fun
Good stuff.
times.
Thank you, Radiant Roach.
That does it.
That does it for this episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem. There is no episode to watch on Friday because it was the season finale.
Yeah.
But when we come back, submit your questions to the BuzzFeed Unsolved Instagram page, the BuzzFeed Unsolved Facebook page, or comment directly on the episodes on Bun, and maybe you'll be on the next episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem.
Have a good Thanksgiving, everybody. Be safe. Have a good holiday. Have a good New Year. Get out of here.